Hello everyone, welcome to Lit Learning English Literature channel. Today's video on Structuralism part 2. So today I'm going to discuss about Roland Barthes. So who is Roland Barthes? Roland Barthes was a French literary theorist and critic, active mainly in the 20th century. He is famous for bringing structuralism, semiotics, and post-structuralism into literary studies. His most important works are Writing Degree 0, published in 1953, Mythologies, 1957, S by Z, 1970, Image, Music, Text, published in 1977. So his ideas changed the way we read texts, from focusing on the author's intention to the reader's interpretation and the structure of meaning itself. So just please check out all the important works by Roland Barthes and the chronological order. The concept of death of the author. So it's an essay, 1967. He argued that we should stop treating the author the ultimate source of a meaning. Once the work is written, the author's control over it ends. The text belongs to readers. He says, to give a text an author is to impose a limit on that text, which means it isn't fixed by what the author meant. Okay, the meaning isn't fixed by what the author meant, but by how readers interpret it. Example, if you read Hamlet, your understanding depends on your feelings, culture, and experience, not only on what William Shakespeare intended. Okay, so if we want to take an example of modern literature, E.M. Forster's Passage to India. So I think you know about Passage to India, the work, one of the world classic by E.M. Forster, right? So E.M. Forster's Passage to India, after reading it, so the understanding depends on your feeling, your culture, and your experience, not only on E.M. Forster's intended. Okay, so this is what death of the author. So see here, it's how relevant Roland Barthes' concept is relevant, right? So he argued that we should stop treating the author the ultimate source of a meaning. Once the work is written, the author's control over it ends. Right? The text belongs to readers. So, death of the author means to kill the author. No, it's not like that. Okay. Author ಅನ್ನು ಸಾಯಿಸ್ಬಿಡೋದು that type of a concept, no. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹೆಸರಿನ ರೀತಿ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ death of the author means author ಇನ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರೀಡರ್ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸನ್ನು, ತನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗನ್ನು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಸೊ ದ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ಆಥರ್ ದ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ಟ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆಥರ್ ದ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ಒನ್ಸ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಟನ್, ದ ಆಥರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್. ದ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ರೀಡರ್ಸ್ now. So the birth of the reader must come at the cost of the death of the author. Readerly and writerly text by Roland Barthes introduced this in his book S by Z or S bar Z 1970. He divided texts into two types, readerly texts and writerly texts. So what's readerly texts? It's easy to read and understand. Meaning is fixed. Readers just consume it. Examples, most classic novels where the story is clear and linear. Writerly texts. Open to interpretation, readers must participate in creating meaning. These texts invite readers to become co-authors. Examples: modernist or postmodern works which are complex, symbolic and playful. Readerly texts, reading for pleasure. Writerly texts, reading as creation. So this is the concept of readerly and writerly text by Roland Barthes. So the next analysis of Honore de Balzac's Sarrasine in S by Z. He broke the story into 561 fragments or lexias to show how meaning is produced through codes, not by author intention. He defined 5 codes that help us to read any kind of a story. Okay. So first one, hermeneutic code. Second one, proerratic code. Third one, semantic code. Fourth one, symbolic code. Fifth one, cultural code. Okay. Through these codes, Roland Barthes showed that a text is a network of meaning, not a single message. Next concept by Roland Barthes is mythologies. In Mythologies 1957, Roland Barthes used semiotics, the study of signs, to analyze popular culture, things like advertisements, films, food and fashion. He said, modern myths are not ancient stories, but everyday cultural messages that hide deeper meaning. He said, modern myths are not ancient stories, but everyday cultural messages that hide deeper meaning. He explained this through 2 levels of a meaning. First one, denotation, and then second one is connotation. Denotation is the literal meaning. Connotation is the hidden cultural message. Roland Barthes showed that culture and media create myths to make certain ideas seem natural. So, Barthes showed that how media create myths to make certain ideas. This idea later inspired cultural studies and media theory. Okay, that you should remember. Roland Barthes changed literary criticism forever. He moved the focus from author to reader, from content to structure, and from individual meaning to cultural codes through his ideas. Death of the author, readerly and writerly texts, S by Z analysis, mythologies. Roland Barthes taught us that meaning is not given, it's made. He made reading an active, creative and critical act. For Roland Barthes, reading is not about discovering what the author meant. It's about discovering what we can make the text mean. So this is about structuralism part 2. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe.